Yo, what's good, brothers and sisters? My name is Nico, and I just recently lost my streak of uploading a video to YouTube every single day, so I get better at speaking to the camera. But whatever, I think I got it to around 100 days, and I didn't lose the streak because of laziness. I could have tried harder. I didn't feel like deleting the app and re-downloading it again, which would have worked, but whatever. We're gonna talk about topics similar to this. I am a person. I was about to say what type of person I am and my beliefs about the world, which I will, but I just caught myself being a hypocrite in a way. Let me explain. If I tell you what type of person I am, and that means I identify as a certain type of person. But here's the kicker, I'm trying to have a looser self-identity. Why do I want to have a looser self-identity? So I'm not bound to be prideful and super biased to my own beliefs. I want to do what I think is right. I want to be as close to God as I can. And what does God mean? God means love. Whatever, I have went on a huge tangent. Let me just go right to the topic of this video. Okay, humans have a tendency to want agency, to want freedom, to want sovereignty. I don't think I've ever said that word out loud. I've just read it a million times ever since I was 5 years old. Sovereignty. Whatever. We want freedom. We want agency. We accept that free will exists. We don't want to... oh my gosh, I almost fell. When we give advice to people, we do it with the premise, we do it with the assumption that it's their choice and that no external influences are responsible. Okay, I know a lot of you guys may be disagreeing, but let me just give you an example that's outrageous. Don't look into it, just look into the logic behind it. Like think of the worst human sin or crime one can commit. Let's say murder, because I don't know if the R word is allowed on YouTube. Let's say murder. Let's say someone commits murder and anyone excuses it for whatever reason or like feels sympathy towards the murderer. A lot of people are going to say, oh, you're excusing murder, don't be a murder apologist. But I think that's just super twisted because I have a belief that we're products of our environment. And I know that's not crazy deep, but I just want to say that that's not necessarily bad. I believe that is the truth, and I don't think I can convince you that that is the truth. But since I believe that is the truth, I believe the best way to live a fulfilling life is to have an acceptance of the truth, to accept it and not resist it. I was just hearing a podcast. Do you guys know Chris Williamson from Modern Wisdom? He was on a podcast interviewing Alex Hormozi, big business guy, probably the biggest face of business in the world, I think, at least from a content point of view. And they were talking about how to be happy or how to be in a good mood despite having reasons to be in a good mood. And I don't know, they were just yapping about ways, and Chris Williamson was talking about doing a bunch of small little things that accumulate you into having a good mood. And Alex Hormozi was just saying, if you can be in a bad mood for no reason, why can't you just be in a good mood for no reason? And one thing stuck out to me. I don't know what they were talking about specifically, but someone suggested something and Chris Williamson was like, but that's external. How can we have like a better tool or a better mindset that makes us have more power of it? And my first thought was, why this constant fear, this constant running away from the reality that external circumstances shape us a lot more than we think? In fact, it's everything. You can pinpoint every decision you have ever made. You can explain it by saying you did it because of the accumulation of everything that happened in your life, plus your genetics. We are like a computer. We are born with preset wiring, with preset genetics, And then we get wired as we live to be a certain way. And that explains everything. I think blaming anything at all on one specific, I think blaming or explaining a choice just by saying it's a choice, bro, sounds like pseudoscience, sounds like it's magic. In a way, conviction and free will is, and conviction of complete free will is inconsistent with an identity of believing in science. If you're religious, it's a whole different story, but I consider myself Christian, and yes, I doubt free will. I'm not saying I know free will doesn't exist, I just feel like it is. If you're Christian, I'm going to say this is my biggest argument. It is prideful to have conviction in anything. At the end of the day, only God knows. Faith is what's required, not knowledge. So be open to literally anything. I think we're all, at the end of the day, at the end of humanity, at the end of morality, at the end of times, we become one with God. And what is God? I think the best way to describe God is everything that is good. So love, gratitude, forgiveness. We're just in this life to come back to what is perfect, to this perfect good that I'm talking about. It's subjective to us, but it exists, and we don't know it. Years ago, a lot of you would have been slave owners and would have had crazy conviction that they were property. Don't say that you wouldn't have been like that. Odds are you were. So yeah, just what I'm arguing for is accept that you're a product of your environment. You don't necessarily have to attribute a bad feeling to it, but instead, since you are just program yourself. You are programmed right now to have the ability to take certain actions. Like this video right now, it's not going to do anything. You're not going to change your life most likely right now. But if you have an open mind, or even if you don't, it's going to plant seeds in your head that are going to make it more likely for you to live the type of lifestyle that I am living right now. But who am I to know anything, right? So whatever. This is the way I kind of operate based on these beliefs. I am a product of my environment. Free will, I can't, as a human, I can't logically believe in free will, but I do choose to believe it because it serves me. So because there's no free will, almost, I know this is confusing, sorry, but let me just simplify it. I'm not gonna go too nuanced. Let me just say that I don't believe in free will, even though it's a little bit more complex than that. Since there is no free will and we are just products of our programming, we have to reprogram ourselves. And how do you reprogram yourself if everything is just your programming and it's not really your choice? I believe our programming, you don't have to be such a nerd about it, such a smartass, and I don't intend to be either. I want to put your ego, one more try, don't give up. We have to, based on the limited will that we do have based on our programming, we have to place ourselves in situations that make it more likely for us to achieve the dream outcomes we want to achieve. I was so close there. The only part I don't agree with that statement was to achieve the dream outcomes that we want to achieve, is to achieve the dream outcomes that we should achieve. And that part's subjective, and that's where humanity is fortunately going towards. We're going towards becoming one with God. There's not going to be cars, there's not going to be humans, there's just going to be one energy that is love and that is God. I know it's pretty spiritually hippie, isn't it? Alright, but who am I to know? God bless you. If you believe in love, then you already believe in God, because God is love.